Hello. This is Sylph Uncensored. I am Sylph, and that over there is Matt. I believe this is like our fourth episode.
I think it's a third, right? But you split up the video, so it looks like a lot more, which is good. Like they should be split up.
Yep.
But it's confusing.
I'm in a temporary location, so I'm kind of recording this with a temporary setup. So we may have some issues. I mean, when have we not had like audio issues on this show?
Yeah.
But we may have some issues, so bear with us if we do. I'll cut it out of the YouTube stuff, but if you're listening live, I won't be able to cut anything out, so you're just going to have to bear with us if we have any issues. But this week we've got Jeremy, also known as the Quartering, talking about a massive woke operation exposed. So this will be fun. You ready, Matt?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Here's how you can get the closest and fastest shave ever.
No.
Meet the Baldy Pro.
No.
This head and face shaver.
I don't want to get
Take a look
Rumble
at this map. The purple
Premium.
spots on this map mark the locations of a hidden
Come on,
fortune
let me skip the
stored-
ad.
Big backlash over ending their DEI
Okay,
policies.
hold on a second.
You don't look
This is
like
a
much
pretty
like
interesting story
Jeremy
that
right
I
now.
wanted to share with
That'd be
all of
more.
my beautiful, good-smelling viewers. You know how there was all this outrage over stores dropping DEI? All these newspapers and media think pieces came out and said, oh, Target's receiving epic backlash over ending their DEI policies.
I mean, it was more like Target is receiving fewer sales, right?
Yeah, it was
Oh
kind
wow,
of a
they show
boycott
ads when you
kind of-
pause the screen on Rumble.
You got to have ads. Well, I mean, people were just like boycotting Target,
Yeah.
right? Like it was.
Yeah, and their sales dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then now they've brought back. So they started, getting rid of DEI and getting rid of their LGBTQ initiatives, and they have now brought in all their LGBTQ merch for Pride Month, and nobody's buying it because nobody in the LGBT community wants to go to Target after them,
Yeah.
basically stabbing them in the back. So
Yeah. Well, wasn't it like last year? They is when they ended their DEI stuff, right? And they didn't put out any merch for Pride Month, right? Wasn't it last year they did that?
no, not last year. It was this year.
Oh, well,
It was just like the beginning of this year.
but
Yeah,
okay.
Walmart, on the other hand, has been like growing their LGBTQ initiatives, and they have seen a bunch of sales in specifically their LGBTQ merch, but also just their sales in general are up.
Yeah.
Remember? Pepperidge Farms remembers. Well, guess what? A new study just proved that nearly all of the online backlash to canceling DEI policies, not to having them, right? So all the backlash to having them was in fact 100% authentic. But all of the backlash
There you go.
ended up being a bot farm. Ended up being completely fake. That's
think
right.
that's all
this is
bullshit.
incredible. This is
Yeah, like, am I fake?
We had this question in another show. This is not the show.
Yeah, I was one of the people doing the backlash online. Am I fake?
I don't think so.
Are you fake? I'm pretty sure you did the backlash online, right?
I don't think I'm fake. I didn't do that much backlash, but
Okay.
I did mention it. So I guess I am part of the problem.
Okay, I have several friends that were talking about it online. Yeah, as Justin freaking said, there were people literally protesting in front of the stores. Like, that's all fake?
But that's not online, you know?
I mean, I guess I
It's only
can't know if
stuff
anyone
online.
else is fake. Maybe everyone else is fake but me. Maybe I should be a
Yeah, pretty much.
solipsist.
That's how it works.
But no, it's very clearly not all fake. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But let's see why Jeremy believes that.
Incredible story, and I'm actually annoyed that I have to release it on a Friday, but let's get into it. Huge shout out to everyone who's helping me.
Yeah, the Vinsanity Puma. They refused to shop there too. I refused to shop there. And it sucks because Target I used to go to Target a lot to get the new release vinyls. Because Target actually has like a good collection of vinyls, which is surprising for a store like Target.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, it's like I can't do that. I'll buy vinyl at Walmart or like, if I can make it down to a local vinyl shop, which I prefer. But if not, I'll buy the crushed vinyl at Walmart. I don't know if you know, but like Walmart does this thing where they have those, those like wire wraparound things that you like click into place that only the cashiers can remove.
Yeah.
They do that around the vinyl, like vinyl records, and it crushes the sides of the cardboard sleeve that the vinyl goes into.
Wow.
So if you buy vinyl at Walmart, it's just like already pre-destroyed.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never really, I didn't really buy much from Target anyways, so it wasn't much of a boycott.
Yeah, I did like Target specifically for that, and I would go in to buy vinyl, and then I'd end up buying like a bunch of other things. So, I spent a decent amount at Target, but once they got rid of like their DEI stuff and their, became LGBTQ hostile, I'm like, nope, not shopping there anymore.
Yeah.
Me move the last of my.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking, like the last time I went to Target was the last time I went to Daytona. So for people who are on our chat that don't know watching the stream, I'm in Florida. I live in Florida now. Moved out of California. I know, great place to move to. Yeah. But I'm close enough that I can drive to Daytona with my electric car. So I'm doing something for the environment. But in Daytona, or at least one of the places that has the Tesla superchargers is in a parking lot of a Target. And I think it was the last time I went to Daytona is the last time I was at a Target because I had my car there charging, which is ironically across from the Daytona Speedway, the big track there.
Is that where they hold the Daytona 500?
Yes.
Okay. Where do they hold the discount version, the Daytona 400?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's actually a thing.
Streets.
I'm trying to make a joke. That might actually be a thing. I don't know anything about racing.
Same here. I just know where that is, and we don't go to Daytona when the race is on. But one of the times we went to Daytona, it wasn't a race, but they were having like a big Jeep meetup. So like we're driving there, and we're seeing all of these Jeeps all over the place, and there's more and more as we got closer and closer, and finally we like get to Daytona. We go to the Target, and there's just Jeeps everywhere, and we finally realized that they're holding something. They're all going into the Speedway, and I don't. They were holding some sort of rally there.
That'd be funny to see the Jeeps racing on the racetrack, because aren't racetracks?
Well, I think
like
they went on the
super
racetrack,
banked?
but it wasn't a race. I think it was just they were like touring around, doing like a show kind of thing. Yeah.
Daytona also has a road course and holds a 24-hour event. Holy cow!
Yeah.
Driving for 24 hours? Or is it just that the event lasts that long?
I don't know.
I hope, because that would be a lot of sleepy drivers. Again, I know nothing about racing, so I probably sound stupid.
Oh. Apparently they switch out
drivers.
So.
Okay, that makes sense.
Gift boxes on Coffee Brand Coffee. By the way, Father's Day is next weekend. There is a small amount of these left on Amazon.
Oh,
49
gross.
bucks,
Amazon
free shipping.
carries his
Our blueberry
coffee?
cobbler coffee,
Blech.
our Colombian roast
Amazon,
coffee,
what are you doing?
honey sticks, yogurt covered pretzels, chocolate covered espresso, and a K-cup.
Isn't his coffee like almost
need a Father's
definitely
Day
just
gift,
white label too?
It's a home run. If you're already a customer of Coffee Brand Coffee, it's a home run. If you just like coffee and treats, it's a home run. Get them before they're gone. I'm never sending any more to Amazon ever again. Now, my regular coffee will remain.
Oh, okay, good.
But now, bogus social media accounts were the ones that fueled the backlash. Link in the description for that gift box, by the way. Fueled the media backlash of DEI.
Oh, there's a New York Post. That's
in fake.
not exactly a good source of
A
information.
coordinated campaign used bogus social media accounts to amplify backlash against Target after the company scaled back its DEI initiatives, according to a Blockbuster report. An analysis by an Israeli tech firm.
So, as we know, every accusation is a confession.
Oh yeah.
And it's pretty obvious when you look on like places like Twitter that there are tons of like right-wing bots, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
well, the other
Grok is supposed to be a right-wing bot, and
yeah.
it's not actually right-wing.
So, do you think they're actually we're gonna play a game. Are they actually gonna give any actual evidence that these are bots and not actual people who were mad at Target?
So I don't doubt that there were bots. There probably are bots on either side. So anyone could point to the other side and be like, there are bots over there. See, this thing is clearly a bot. And they would have a certain point. But what I think is true, what I think is pretty obvious when you look online, is the right-wing bots vastly outnumber the left-wing bots.
Yeah.
So any sort of like coordinated campaign to, create a backlash against Target for getting rid of its DEI, to me, that would be like probably at the scale of like maybe 10% of the bots, the right-wing bots, like praising Target for getting rid of their DEI initiatives.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just a bot war, and the right wing has like the funding of billionaires because they, billionaires don't want taxes, and the right wing are like dead set on like lowering the taxes for rich people. So the right wing gets funded by billionaires, hence they can afford more bots.
Yep.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Cybra found that nearly a third of all social media accounts driving the outrage over the retail giant's policy changes were 100% fake.
I find that hard to believe.
Well, that means 2/3 were real
30%
people.
Of all
Does it?
feedback, all amplification of people saying that they were going to boycott Target for dropping DEI were fake. I think that it's probably well within reason. Well within reason. That it's all support for this was fake.
Why? Why, Jeremy? So it is mind-boggling to hear someone say, I don't think anyone disagrees with me.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he said. Yeah.
You can say literally anything and someone will disagree with you.
Yeah.
Like I could say, it's a really good idea after you poop to clean the poop off of your butt. And someone's going to be like, no, that's a terrible idea. I think we should all leave poop on our butt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like literally anything else you say, there's always going to be someone to disagree with you.
Right.
Like
Well, and then
vehemently and probably truthfully, right?
Well, this is also Jeremy. Like, people disagree about just about everything he says.
Yeah.
Like lots of
He
people, not even a
knows.
small one, because he's wrong.
He knows that people disagree with him, so I don't understand at all why he's saying like all opposition to this was fake. That's
I don't
crazy.
know.
That's such a stupid thing to say.
Now, why would they just be fake now? The Minneapolis-based retailer announced it would roll back its controversial initiatives, which had drawn scorn from regular people, touting items such as tuck-friendly bathing suits and items for kids.
Notice he said those two things very close together so that you would think that they were tuck-friendly bathing suits for kids, which is what the right wing tried to say at the time, which is not true. Also, I don't think that would really be a problem if a kid wanted a bathing suit like that. Like, probably don't get your kid that, but the bathing suits that they actually had were for adults. And yes, they had like T-shirts for kids that said like Happy Pride and such. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, why are kids allowed to wear like super heteronormative stuff, but they can't wear anything with a fucking rainbow on it? Like, why does Jeremy want that to be the way the world works? I mean, I know why. It's because he's a homophobe, but...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cyabra.
But yeah, let's definitely protect the children from bathing suits.
Can we protect them from Jeremy?
Well, yes, we should. But, you know, he's basically saying, like, look at Target. They want kids to wear bathing suits. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, even in their crazy world where these were specifically bathing suits for kids, it's still, like, not a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't know. Reviewed thousands of posts on X, formerly Twitter, from January 1st to April 21st, discovered that 27% of the accounts were completely fake, many of which played a major role in pushing boycott narratives. Oops.
We're down to 27%.
Their data showed...
So, yeah, 27% is not 1/3.
Yeah.
It's substantially less than 1/3, actually.
Yep. It's actually closer to a quarter.
Yep. But so I would be in favor of passing laws basically essentially banning bots from participating in social media, right?
Yeah.
I would definitely be 100%
use,
in favor of that.
You can just use Mastodon. There are bots there, but you only follow them if you are interested in their content. Like it's not shoved on you. It's not that kind of algorithm.
And the kind of like tradition, like the norm of Mastodon is to label a bot. So like, you know, if you have something that like reposts things automatically, it's generally labeled bot. So that you know you're following a bot, and like probably you don't have to comment on things because it's a bot and it's not going to reply.
Right.
But on Twitter, I don't think there is a way to label something as a bot. But also, I would be fine with banning bots altogether on social media. And I kind of wonder if Jeremy would be fine with that too, or if he knows that bots are way more effectively used by the right wing. And this is all just, you know, a confession.
Yeah. He probably knows.
So that inauthentic posts jumped 764% after Target's announcement, flooding the platform with calls for...
When they say inauthentic posts, do they mean overall or specifically about Target?
I think overall, right?
Yeah, I don't even think posts jumped very much after that announcement.
Yeah.
Like, that was not huge news.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, huge news in certain communities, but it wasn't like, I think most people wouldn't even have heard of this.
Yeah.
Consumer boycotts and viral hashtags of economic blackout. The firm's CEO, Don Don't Care, described the backlash as a calculated effort to manufacture outrage. What happened with Target is a masterclass in manufactured outrage, he told the Post on Thursday. Okay.
Why did he call him Don Don't Care?
Don't know. No idea.
Like, it's clearly Dan, not Don. And like, is Brahmi a hard name to pronounce? I mean, I might be mispronouncing it, but like, that's a good try, right?
Yeah.
Or is Jeremy like purposefully being disrespectful? I don't know. Strange.
Might be the latter. But it seems
Who
like
funded it?
I don't know. Seems like that guy, the Don't Care guy, was on Jeremy's side. So
Yeah.
why would he be disrespecting him?
I don't know. Maybe Jeremy's just like naturally disrespectful at this point because he's like practiced it for so long, and he like
Maybe.
accidentally disrespects people he's not trying to.
Yep.
Because these fake accounts cost money, especially if they're verified. So who is funding it? I wonder.
Hey, you know, I'm all for getting money out of politics. I wonder if Jeremy agrees.
Probably not. I want to also point out that they haven't actually, not only have they not proven that anything that they claim are bots, but they didn't really, I mean, it'd be hard to prove specifically in an article like this, but they didn't even show like any kind of methodology. Like, how do they know these accounts are bots? It's just stated, right? I don't know about you, but like sometimes I get accused of being a bot online.
Yeah, I've been accused of being a bot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that happens.
Yep. Yeah, some people like refuse to believe, like Jeremy, for example, refuse to believe that other people can disagree with them.
Right.
So, yeah. To them, you know, their worldview is the most logical thing in the world.
Yeah.
And they can't imagine someone else like coming to a different conclusion. And it's like, well, we have different values. I'm sorry. You know, I value everyone's safety and well-being. You value white, straight, cis males' safety and well-being. Not that I don't. They're just not the only ones that I value.
Right. Right.
Yep.
I wonder who was funding it. Fake accounts hijacked the narrative wrong. Fake accounts were the.
Oh, but yeah, so this idea of like, you know, who's funding them? Oh, it's probably George Soros.
Yep.
I would be all for 100% in favor. In fact, I would like champion it. A ban on money in politics. In fact, I think our elections should be publicly funded.
I'm also for a ban on money in social media, but they'll probably not want to do that.
Well, I'm probably pretty close to being for a ban on social media in general.
Yeah.
I mean, really, what good has social media brought humanity?
None. I don't think I think if you add everything up, like the positives and negatives, I think it's a net negative for humanity.
Oh, yeah. The net very, very negative.
Yeah.
Yep.
Entire narrative. Weaponized identity and pushed a boycott that looked grassroots, but was anything but. This is how influence ops work now. They blur the lines between real and fake until no one can tell the difference. Many of the fake accounts were designed to mimic real.
Was that the screenshot of the man talking right there? Was that a fake man?
Yes.
Is that like AI or something? Is that what they
I
thought?
don't know. Also, Jeremy wasn't one of the ones that got caught up in the whole like Russia scandal that was like paying a bunch of right-wing influencers, right?
I don't think he was one of them.
Okay.
I think he was probably salty that he wasn't getting the Russian money.
That's probably true.
But yeah, down there, the caption underneath that screenshot says, "A social media post promoting a boycott of Target is suspected of being fake." So
Okay.
I guess Jeremy and I probably have like a different definition of the word bot.
Yeah.
When I hear the word bot, I don't think a person who's been paid to have a specific position. That's not
Yeah.
a bot to me. To me, that's a shill.
Right. Yes.
So this is very clearly a real man, like taking a video of himself. So that's not a bot.
Right.
So are they just
True.
they're accusing real people of being paid shills? Is that what's going on here?
Well, they're calling them bots, but it definitely seems to be the terminology wrong. Like
Yeah.
at least for some of them, should be called shills.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure how many of those are, of that happening, right? Because how do you tell the difference between somebody being paid and somebody who's actually, serious about whatever position is not getting paid?
Yep.
Exactly. It'll look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Users and took the identities of black consumers or
I mean, we can accurately say that, like, for example, Tim Pool, who did get the Russian money, he is a paid shill. He was paid to have that position. He was paid to make those videos, right?
Yeah.
So he is a paid shill. But like, unless you have actual evidence of someone being paid to produce that kind of content, then yeah, how do you tell whether someone's a paid shill?
Right.
conservative commentators, according to their findings, which were obtained by the Post. Some profiles push slogans such as Target Fast and 40-day boycott, while others accuse the retailer of bending the knee to Trump. One purported ex-user with...
I think that pretty clearly I don't know what I'm trying to say here. 40-day boycott doesn't make any sense. Why would you boycott something for only 40 days?
Right. Not very useful.
Yeah.
With the handle Nentelsback, posted on January 7th, Target can't get my money.
Nentelsback?
It's like being
Where did the
betrayed
T
by a
come from?
family member. We give Target so much respect. Black folk named Target Target. What? What? I don't get it. Another profanity-laced post on January 24th said that Target, you effing chicken ishes, you're an embarrassment to Minnesota. Caving to Trump demands about DEI programs. F you.
What's up?
Like
So
I
not
said, we will have some audio issues in this episode. Give me 1 second to correct that. All right, back to the video. Sorry about that.
Black people. And look, American Patriot, Minnesota. All three were found to be posted by entirely fake accounts. We don't just look at what's being said. And look, American
Patriot, Minnesota just sounds like the fakest name.
Yeah. It also sounds like a fake right-wing name, but whatever.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see how many of these accounts were like right-wing bots that like accidentally posted a non-right-wing take.
Maybe.
I don't know.
And well, I'm also wondering how they determined that these were fake.
Yeah, that might not be a fake account. It certainly sounds like a fake account, though.
Yeah, it sounds like it, but sounds like it is not proof that it's fake.
Yep, true.
Patriot, Minnesota. All three were found to be posted by entirely fake accounts. We don't just look at what's being said, we analyze how it's being said and whether they're even real. We flag accounts that post in lockstep, recycle the same hashtags and slogans, or only...
We don't just look at what's being said. We analyze how it's being said and whether they are even real.
Yeah. That, like, you're just making an assumption of whether or not they're real.
Yeah,
At this point, maybe they have some other method of determining if they're real, but they haven't said it yet.
that doesn't explain anything. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how do you determine whether they are real?
Yeah.
That's like the big question here, right?
Yep.
Only interact with enclosed loops of other suspicious accounts.
We flag accounts that post in lockstep, recycle the same hashtags and slogans, or only interact with closed loops of other suspicious accounts. What you're describing is just social media behavior.
Yeah. And then that he's just suspicious of because they don't agree with his, or well, with the whoever's writing the article, with their, ideas and their, values or whatever.
Oh, the next sentence here is pretty important. Ciabra,
Okay.
which uses artificial intelligence to detect coordinated manipulation campaigns. There we go. We've figured it out.
Right.
Ducky, it is the quartering, and I apologize for that. So yeah, they're just asking Grok, hey, is this real?
They use AI to detect coordinated manipulation campaigns. They did not find clear evidence linking the campaign to a specific foreign or domestic actor. What a coincidence!
What? It
For
just
one,
means
leave a like
that
on the
they're
video
really
right now
not sure if
you
it's fake.
It's a coincidence that they didn't find anyone responsible?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be like perfectly explainable by it not actually being a coordinated campaign, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a coincidence that my evidence is trash.
Yeah. Pretty much.
two are shocked to find out, if you two are shocked right now to find out,
Wait, what is this? What is this
I, for
last one
clear
above
evidence
here?
linking the campaign to a specific foreign
Yeah.
or domestic actor.
I stopped going to Target because of their support for the trans agenda.
What a coincidence!
Think that is a greater motivation for people. Oh, my video is in front of it. For people to boycott Target than DEI.
So this is a right-wing poster basically saying that they're boycotting Target for right-wing reasons.
Yeah, that's clearly not about boycotting Target for DEI.
Yeah.
First of all, why would they include that in their like evidential support of their claim? Because it clearly doesn't support their claim. Second, why would they post that as like one of the examples? It very clearly shows that that does not support their claim.
I don't know.
Wow.
I, for one, leave a like on the video right now if you two are shocked to find out. If you two are shocked right now to find out that this is
Can you give thumbs down on or dislikes on Rumble videos?
I probably can, but I want my feed to be absolute fucking trash. So
Oh, okay. Or everybody
can't do
else, go
that,
to quartering
then,
and down thumb, dislike it.
yeah. I wonder if he's like even reading these tweets that are scrolling by, because the next one says, so boycott Target for 40 days and then what? Just go back to shopping. That seems like it might be also counter to their point.
Intelligence agency
I don't know. We can't
was
see the whole
unable
thing.
to connect this online coordinated bot campaign to a specific country. The tactic of influencing culture and a culture war.
Hold on. There's a sentence right here on the screen that you can see. On some days, fake accounts made up 39% of the conversation, outnumbering genuine users.
Yeah.
So the only way that that sentence can be true is if that 39% were split among a bunch of fake users, and like the 61% that was left over was like fewer users being, tweeting more.
Yeah.
Right? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but 39% is not greater than 50%.
Correct.
Okay. So yeah. So like, do they just assume that anyone who doesn't post very often is a bot? I'm really trying to figure out their methodology. They tried to explain it and it was bad.
Yeah.
So it's probably just bad.
It's probably bad. Probably anybody I don't like is a bot.
Yep. Anybody who disagrees with me, especially if they disagree with me and agree with someone else, they're a bot.
Yeah. Right.
Synthetic engagement has become increasingly common, particularly in polarized consumer environments. In a follow-up analysis of conversations on X from May 27th to June 3rd, they found the campaign had not only persisted, but intensified. On some days, fake accounts made up nearly 40% of the conversation, outnumbering genuine users. Cyber has seen similar tactics used against other major brands, from fast food chains to tech companies. The playbook.
Okay. So this one says, so boycott Target for 40 days and then what? Just go back to shopping there? Target is literally a Target right now. Should we all sell our Teslas, stop shopping at every store, and live off the land? All these corporations are in bed with each other. This person is saying don't boycott Target.
Yeah.
So again, this is like not in support of their claim here.
Right.
I don't understand why. Well, I guess I understand why they're using these as examples, because this is the best they have.
Yeah.
Book is similar. Hijack a polarizing moment, flood the zone with fake voices, and let the real users do the rest. That's exactly what happened with Target, and it works. The stock dropped $12 billion, and real people joined the boycott thinking there was a massive groundswell. Many still are.
Oh no, the stock dropped $12 billion a share.
They're saying many and real people joined the boycott thinking there was a massive groundswell. That is a boycott.
There's a massive groundswell if many people are joining it.
Yeah.
As well.
Like, even if no one else was boycotting Target, I would be boycotting Target. No one else really is boycotting Chick-fil-A anymore, but I hold a fucking grudge. And I'm still boycotting them from what they did in they did in 2008, but it came out in 2011, I think.
Well, not to I don't know, sell another YouTube channel, but I don't know if you saw the latest from Food Theory on YouTube, but apparently Chick-fil-A's chicken sandwich is pretty bad in comparison to the rest, so you should really go to other places.
I mean, I used to love Chick-fil-A. I would go there before going to the gym or after going to, I don't remember. It was a long time ago. I used to go there a lot. And then this came out and I was like, well, fuck. I really like their food, but I'm not supporting a company like that.
It's kind of funny. I had stopped going to Chick-fil-A long before all that stuff happened for no particular reason. It's not that I didn't like it. It's just, I guess there wasn't any close to me that or close to where I was going or something that I would go to regularly,
Okay. I mean, I really like their waffle fries too. Their fries are super good.
Apparently they changed those. Something
did
about
they?
them.
Okay, well, fuck them.
I think they're still waffle shape, but I sound like they changed some ingredients or something of the way they make them.
Okay. Well, they're probably terrible now then. I'm not going to try them.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, this is absolutely not a surprise. This is not a surprise to me at all. I also believe.
So what he's saying right there is, this confirms my bias, therefore I believe it.
That's right.
Quite
exactly right.
Quite very like from the bottom of my heart, I believe that a lot of this culture war stuff is literally bot farmed. Both pro
Bot versus
and
bot.
anti. These Pakistani.
That's our hold on. That should be our new T-shirt on the ice cream and a hot dog. Bot versus bot.
Yep. So I agree with him that like culture war stuff is bot farmed.
Yeah.
I just disagree on like the scale on each side.
Yeah.
The scale on the right wing side is paid for by billionaires and Russia.
Yep.
Like literally it's
Yes.
paid for by like domestic billionaires and foreign billionaires.
Yeah.
So the right wing has vastly more resources. Plus fucking Elon Musk owns Twitter.
Yeah.
So the right wing has vastly more resources to run these bot networks to try and like push this culture war stuff. And they're not talking about the real thing, which is people can't afford to fucking live anymore because the minimum wage hasn't been raised since 2009.
Yep.
So, yeah. I think that's a good point to stop here and
Yeah.
and sign off cuz Jeremy is just he thinks he's figured something out here and he needs to hold up a mirror because his side does it way worse. I'm not doubting that like there are left-wing bots. I'm doubting that they come anywhere close to outnumbering right-wing bots. Because right-wing bots are paid for, again, by like multiple domestic and foreign billionaires.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And if you want to avoid bots entirely, just don't use Twitter.
Yep. So this has been Sylph Uncensored. Thank you for watching. And if you're watching on YouTube, check out another video. And don't forget to like the channel and subscribe to the video. And if you're listening on Twitch right now, stick around afterward. We're going to go into Sylph Redacted and find another horrible video to watch. All right. Say goodbye, Matt.
Goodbye, Matt. Goodbye.